Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Personal Growth Talks. I'm Jason, your host, and joining me, as always, is my amazing co-host, Julia. Julia, how's your day going?
Hi, Jason. My day's going great, thank you. And I'm really looking forward to today's episode because it's such a valuable topic that I think everyone can benefit from. How about you? How's your day so far?
Pretty good, thanks. And you're right, today's topic is something that we can all connect with because, let's face it, we've all had those moments where we forget something important or just can't seem to focus. That's why today we're diving into how to improve your memory.
Yes. Memory plays such a big role in our lives, whether it's at work, at school, or even in our personal relationships. Imagine being able to remember names, dates, and important details effortlessly. It can make such a huge difference.
Absolutely. And it's not just about remembering things. It's about staying mentally sharp and improving how we learn, solve problems, and connect with others. A strong memory can give us a real edge in life.
But here's the thing, Jason. So many people think they're just bad at remembering things, and they give up. What they don't realize is that memory is a skill, something you can train and strengthen just like a muscle.
Exactly, and that's what today's episode is all about. We're going to talk about why memory matters, how it works, and most importantly, share some simple yet effective tips to improve it. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who wants to stay sharp, this episode is for you.
Yes, and we'll also tackle some common myths about memory, plus share some fun and practical exercises you can try at home. So whether you're listening on your commute, taking a walk, or relaxing at home, stick around. We've got an exciting episode ahead.
And if you find today's tips helpful, don't forget to share this podcast with a friend. Who knows, it might help them as much as it helps you. All right, Julia, shall we jump right in?
Let's do it. This is Personal Growth Talks, and today we're talking all about how to improve your memory. Let's get started.
Now that we're getting started, let's talk about something fundamental. Why is memory so important? Julia, what's your take on this?
Great question, Jason. Memory is at the core of everything we do. Think about it. Our ability to learn, make decisions, and even connect with others depends on how well we remember things. Whether it's recalling a loved one's birthday, remembering key points in a meeting, or even holding on to our favorite childhood memories, memory shapes how we experience life.
Exactly. It's not just about day-to-day tasks, though. Memory is a big part of achieving long-term goals, too. For example, if you're a student, your ability to retain what you study directly impacts your performance. Or, if you're a professional, remembering critical details can help you excel in your career.
And let's not forget relationships. Remembering little details about the people in your life, their likes, dislikes, or even something they mentioned in passing, shows that you care. It strengthens those bonds. Imagine someone remembering your favorite coffee order. It feels good, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And memory also helps with self-growth. Think about how we learn from our experiences. When we reflect on past mistakes or successes, it's our memory that allows us to grow and make better choices in the future.
That's such a great point, Jason. And here's something else to consider. A strong memory helps us stay productive. Have you ever forgotten a deadline or misplaced something important? It can totally throw off your day. But with a good memory, you can stay on top of things and reduce stress.
Right, and beyond that, memory plays a role in creativity too. When we recall different ideas, concepts, or past experiences, we're able to connect the dots and come up with new solutions. It's amazing how interconnected memory is with our overall brain power.
That's so true. And the best part is that improving memory can boost your confidence. When you can recall information easily or remember important details in conversations, it feels empowering. It's a skill that impacts every area of your life.
Exactly, Julia. So whether it's improving your work performance, strengthening relationships, or just staying sharp as you age, having a good memory is crucial. And the good news is, it's never too late to work on it.
Right. So now that we've covered why memory is so important, let's talk about how it works and what might be holding us back from improving it.
All right, before we dive into tips for improving memory, it's important to understand how memory actually works. Julia, can you explain the basics?
Sure, Jason. At its core, memory is our brain's way of storing, organizing, and retrieving information. It's divided into two main types, short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory is like a temporary notepad. It holds small amounts of information for a short time, like remembering a phone number long enough to dial it.
Right. And then we have long-term memory, which stores information for much longer, days, months, or even years. This is where we keep important memories, like what we learned in school or special life events.
Exactly. But here's the catch. For information to move from short-term to long-term memory, it needs to be processed. That's where techniques like repetition, association, and focus come in. Without these, we're likely to forget things quickly.
That makes sense. And it's worth mentioning that memory isn't perfect. We all face challenges like distractions, stress, or even lack of sleep, which can affect how well we remember things. Have you noticed how hard it is to focus when you're tired, Julia?
Oh, definitely. It's a reminder that memory is influenced by so many factors, our physical health, mental state, and even our environment. But the good news is, once we understand how memory works, we can use specific strategies to make it stronger.
Exactly. So now that we have a basic understanding of memory, let's move on to the exciting part. Practical tips and habits to boost your memory starting today. All right, now it's time for the part everyone's been waiting for. Practical tips to improve your memory. Julia, why don't you kick us off with the first tip?
Absolutely. Tip number 1, get enough sleep. Sleep is like a reset button for your brain. When you sleep, your brain processes and organizes information, transferring it from short-term to long-term memory. Studies show that adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep to keep their memory sharp. Jason, have you ever noticed how much better you remember things after a good night's sleep?
Definitely, Julia. And on the flip side, if I'm sleep deprived, I forget even the simplest things. That brings us to tip number 2, stay physically active. Exercise doesn't just keep your body healthy, it also boosts blood flow to the brain, which helps with memory and focus. Even a 30-minute walk a few times a week can make a big difference.
Great point, Jason. Tip number 3 is something I personally love. Use memory techniques. Strategies like visualization, creating associations, or using acronyms can help you remember things more effectively. For example, if you need to remember a grocery list, try creating a story in your mind that links all the items together.
That's a great idea. And that leads us to tip number 4, practice mindfulness and reduce distractions. Our memory works best when we're fully present. If you're trying to learn or remember something, focus on it without multitasking. Julia, have you tried mindfulness exercises for improving focus?
Yes, I have. Even simple breathing exercises can help clear your mind. Another effective tip is organize your environment. Clutter can make it harder to focus, which affects memory. Keeping things tidy and writing down tasks in a planner or app can free up mental space for more important things.
Absolutely. Tip number 6 is something we all know, but sometimes neglect. Eat a brain-healthy diet. Foods rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and omega-3s, like blueberries, nuts, and fish, are great for brain health. And staying hydrated is key too. Even mild dehydration can impair your focus and memory.
Yes, nutrition plays such a big role. And here's tip number 7, challenge your brain. Your memory improves when you give it a workout. solve puzzles, play memory games, learn a new skill, or even try learning a new language. These activities keep your brain active and engaged.
Great suggestion. And tip number 8 is use repetition to your advantage. If there's something you want to remember, review it multiple times. Spaced repetition, revisiting the information at intervals, can help move it to your long-term memory.
Spaced repetition is so powerful. And here's my favorite, tip number 9, stay socially active. Engaging in conversations, sharing ideas, or even just catching up with friends helps stimulate your brain. Socializing is a fun way to keep your mind sharp.
Totally agree. And for our final tip, number 10, take breaks. When you're learning something new, don't try to cram. Short, focused sessions with breaks in between actually help your brain absorb information better.
Exactly. Breaks help your brain recharge and consolidate what you've learned. So there you have it, 10 simple yet powerful tips to improve your memory. The best part? You can start applying these tips right away.
That's right. Whether it's getting better sleep, staying active, or trying new memory techniques, these habits can make a huge difference over time. Now let's wrap up with a quick recap and some final thoughts. Now that we've covered some great tips, let's clear up a few common myths about memory. Julia, have you heard the one about how people believe memory naturally gets worse with age and there's nothing you can do about it?
Oh, I've definitely heard that, Jason, but it's not entirely true. While it's normal for memory to change as we age, it doesn't mean it has to decline drastically. Research shows that staying mentally active, eating healthy, and practicing memory exercises can help keep your brain sharp, even as you get older.
Exactly. Another myth I've come across is the idea that some people are just born with a good memory, and if you don't have it, you're out of luck.
That's such a common one. But memory is a skill, Jason. It can be improved with practice. Sure, some people might naturally have better memory abilities, but with the right techniques, anyone can enhance their memory. It's all about consistent effort.
Right, and here's a fun myth to debunk. The belief that multitasking helps you remember more because you're doing so many things at once.
Oh, that one's definitely a myth. Multitasking actually divides your attention and makes it harder to focus on and retain information. Instead, focusing on one thing at a time helps your memory far more.
Absolutely. Here's another myth. People often think that technology, like smartphones, is ruining our memory.
Well, while it's true that over-reliance on tech can make us a little lazy with remembering things like phone numbers, technology isn't all bad. It can also help us stay organized and remind us of important tasks. It's about finding balance and using tech wisely.
Exactly. So the next time someone tells you these myths, you can confidently say they're not entirely true. What matters is how we take care of our memory and the steps we take to improve it.
That's right, Jason. Now that we've debunked these myths, let's move on to how to make these tips a part of your daily life.
Now that we've talked about tips and busted some myths, let's dive into practical exercises that anyone can do to boost their memory. Julia, what's a simple exercise to start with?
One of the easiest and most effective exercises is the Memory Palace technique. Picture a familiar place like your home and mentally place pieces of information you want to remember in different locations. For example, if you're trying to memorize a list of groceries, imagine a carton of milk on your couch and a loaf of bread on your kitchen counter.
That's a fun one. Another great exercise is chunking. This involves breaking down information into smaller, manageable chunks. For instance, instead of trying to remember a long number like 567123890, group it into chunks 567123890. It's much easier to remember that way.
Absolutely. And here's another. Practice active recall. After you've read or learned something, close the book or turn off the screen and try to recall the key points. This forces your brain to retrieve the information, strengthening your memory in the process.
I love that one, Julia. Another practical exercise is association. This is when you link new information to something you already know. For example, if you're meeting someone named Rose, imagine a rose flower in your mind whenever you see them.
That's a great tip, Jason. And here's a simple exercise you can do anywhere. Play memory games. There are plenty of apps and puzzles like Sudoku or memory matching games that can train your brain to retain information better. Even card games like matching pairs are helpful.
Exactly. Another easy practice is writing things down. When you write, you're not only creating a record, but you're also reinforcing the information in your brain. It's especially helpful for remembering names, dates, or key ideas.
One last one to add: meditation for focus. It might sound surprising, but even 5 minutes of meditation a day can improve your focus and attention span, which are key for remembering things more effectively.
That's a fantastic suggestion, Julia. These exercises are easy to fit into your day, and over time, they can make a big difference in how well you remember things.
Exactly. The key is consistency. Choose 1 or 2 of these exercises and practice them regularly. You'll notice improvements before you know it.
All right, that wraps up today's episode on how to improve your memory. We've talked about why memory is important, how it works, tips to enhance it, common myths, and even practical exercises you can start using today.
Exactly, Jason. And remember, improving your memory isn't something that happens overnight. It's about building small, consistent habits that make a big difference over time. Whether it's getting enough sleep, practicing mindfulness, or trying out memory games, every step counts.
We hope today's tips and techniques inspire you to take better care of your memory and give these strategies a try. If you found this episode helpful, here's what you can do next.
First, subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel for more episodes like this. We're always sharing practical advice on personal growth and learning.
Second, share this episode with a friend or family member. Helping someone else improve their memory is a great way to reinforce what you've learned.
And third, let us know in the comments which tip or exercise you're excited to try. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, your memory is a powerful tool, and with the right care and effort, you can unlock its full potential.
Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and take good care of yourself.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and I'm here with the amazing co-host, Julia. How's it going, Julia?
Hey Jason, I'm doing great and I'm super excited for today's episode. It's one of my favorite topics, honestly.
Same here. So, today, we're talking about something that every English learner wants to improve, and that is vocabulary. That's right. We're going to dive into how to increase your English vocabulary in fun, effective, and realistic ways.
Exactly. Whether you're just starting your English learning journey or you've been studying for a while, vocabulary is key. The more words you know, the more confident and fluent you become in speaking, listening, reading, and even writing.
And don't worry, this episode is not about boring memorization or long vocabulary lists. We'll share real strategies, personal tips, daily habits, and even fun activities you can start using today to boost your vocabulary.
We'll also talk about common mistakes learners make and how to avoid them because, let's be honest, we've all been there.
So grab a notebook or just sit back and relax and get ready to learn how to grow your vocabulary naturally and confidently.
Let's jump right in.
So let's start with the big question. Why does vocabulary matter so much when learning English?
That's such an important question. Well, think of vocabulary like building blocks. The more blocks you have, the more things you can build, like better sentences, clearer ideas, and deeper conversations.
Exactly. You might know grammar, you might pronounce words correctly, But if you don't know the right words to say, you get stuck. Like, have you ever had a moment where you know what you want to say in your native language, but you just can't find the English word for it?
Oh, totally. And it's so frustrating. That's why a strong vocabulary helps you speak more fluently, listen with better understanding, and even enjoy reading or watching English shows without subtitles.
Right. And vocabulary isn't just for speaking, it's for listening too. If you don't know the words, it's hard to understand what someone else is saying, even if they're speaking clearly.
And when you read, having a good vocabulary helps you enjoy stories, understand articles, and learn from books without always stopping to check the dictionary.
Let me give a quick example. Imagine two learners. One knows 500 English words, the other knows 2,000. Who do you think will speak with more confidence?
Obviously, the one with more vocabulary because they have more tools. They can describe things better, ask clearer questions, and even understand jokes or idioms.
And here's something cool. The more words you know, the more curious you become. You start noticing how words are used in real life. You hear a new word in a movie or a podcast, and suddenly you want to learn it and use it.
Exactly. It's like opening a door to new ideas, cultures, and conversations. So, vocabulary isn't just about language, it's also about connection.
That's a beautiful way to say it. And the best part? Anyone can grow their vocabulary no matter your age or level.
Yep. All it takes is curiosity, consistency, and a few smart strategies which we're about to share in the next parts of... All right. Before we jump into the best ways to build your vocabulary, let's talk about something just as important, the common mistakes many English learners make when trying to learn new words.
Oh yes, this is a big one. Because sometimes it's not just about learning more words, it's about learning them the right way. So, mistake number 1, memorizing long lists of random words without context.
Yes, so many learners try to learn 50 words a day just by reading a list, but without sentences or situations. It's hard for your brain to remember them. Your mind needs a story, a picture, or a real-life example.
Exactly. Imagine learning the word generous. If you just memorize the meaning, you might forget it. But if you see it in a sentence like, "My uncle is very generous. He always gives gifts to the children," now it makes sense. It's real.
Another common mistake translating everything from your native language. Of course, it's okay sometimes, but if you always translate, it slows you down, and sometimes the words don't match perfectly between languages.
Right. For example, some English words have many meanings. If you try to translate directly, you might get confused or use the word in the wrong way.
Also, many learners don't use the words they learn. They write them down, they understand them, but they never speak them or write them in real sentences. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Absolutely. Vocabulary is like a muscle. You've got to use it to make it stronger. So, even if you're not perfect, try to use new words in your daily conversations or writing.
And the last mistake? Thinking that you have to know big or fancy words to sound smart. Nope. You just need to use the right words clearly and naturally.
Couldn't agree more. Simple, clear English is powerful. And once you master the basics, you can grow into more advanced vocabulary with confidence.
So now that we know what not to do, let's look at what you should do, starting with the best daily habits to grow your
All right, let's talk about something powerful: habits. If you want to increase your English vocabulary, you need small, daily habits that you can stick to.
Exactly. You don't need to study 4 hours a day. You just need to do a little every day, and those small steps will build big results. So here are some of our favorite daily habits.
Habit number 1. Read something in English every day. It can be a short news article, a blog, a social media post, or even a few pages of a book.
Yes, reading helps you see words in real context. You'll learn how they are used in real life, and it also helps with grammar, too, naturally.
And if you don't like reading long things, no problem. Start small. Even reading the labels on your shampoo bottle or food package in English can teach you new words.
Habit number 2, listen to English content. That could be podcasts, English music, news radio, YouTube videos, or audiobooks.
Yep. And while you listen, don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just listen actively. Try to catch new words. If one word comes up again and again, write it down and look it up later.
Which brings us to habit number 3, keep a vocabulary journal. This can be a small notebook or even your phone. Every time you hear or read a new word, write it down.
But don't stop there. Write the meaning, a sentence, and maybe even a drawing or translation if it helps you. Make the word yours.
Habit number 4, review your vocabulary journal every day. Just 5 minutes, look at 3 to 5 words. Try to use them in a sentence or say them out loud.
Repetition is key. The more you see and use the word, the stronger the memory becomes.
And here's a fun one, habit number 5. Change your phone or social media to English. That way, you see English words all the time, even without trying.
Yes, it's like learning passively while doing normal stuff. You'll pick up new words just by using your phone or scrolling Instagram.
And the final habit, talk to yourself in English. Sounds funny, but it works. Describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. This helps you connect new words to your daily life.
Absolutely. Speaking out loud, even just to yourself, helps your brain remember faster. You're training your brain to think in English.
So remember small habits every day. Read, listen, write, review, speak. Just do 1 or 2 things daily, and your vocabulary will grow naturally.
Don't wait for the perfect time. Start now, even if it's just 1 new word a day.
Now, let's move on to some fun and creative techniques to learn new words, because learning vocabulary doesn't have to be boring.
Let's make it exciting. All right? We've talked about habits now. Let's make vocabulary learning fun. Because when you enjoy the process, you learn faster and remember more.
Yes, learning vocabulary doesn't have to feel like homework. So let's dive into some fun and practical ways to grow your vocabulary without getting bored.
Technique number 1. Use flashcards with a twist. Write the word on one side and the meaning or a picture on the other. You can even use apps like Anki or Quizlet to make digital flashcards.
And don't just write the meaning. Add example sentences. Like for the word excited, your card could say, I'm excited for the weekend. That way, you're learning how to use the word, not just what it means.
Technique 2. Watch movies, series, or cartoons in English with subtitles. Start with subtitles in your language, then switch to English subtitles when you feel ready.
It's a fun way to hear natural pronunciation and pick up slang, phrasal verbs, and new expressions. Pause the video, write down a new word, repeat it, and try using it later.
Exactly. And here's another one, play word games. There are so many free games like Wordle, Scrabble, or vocabulary puzzles online. You're learning while having fun.
Yes, and some mobile games are made just for language learners. You can even compete with friends or other learners. It makes learning social and exciting.
Technique number 4. Label things around your house. Grab sticky notes and write English words for items like mirror, fridge, door, remote control, and stick them on each item.
This is a great one for visual learners. Every time you see the word, you remember it and you connect it to something in your real life.
Another idea is make up mini-stories using your new words. Even silly stories, like the happy banana danced on the table because it won the lottery. It sounds funny, but that's why it works.
Yes, The crazier the story, the easier it is to remember the words. Your brain loves stories and emotions.
One more technique. Learn with music. Listen to English songs and read the lyrics. Sing along and try to understand what the words mean.
It's fun, emotional, and super effective, and you get to improve your pronunciation and rhythm while building your vocabulary.
So, choose what works best for you. Maybe flashcards today, songs tomorrow, a movie on the weekend. Mix it up and keep it fun.
Exactly. When you enjoy learning, you stay motivated, and the words start to stick for real.
Now that we've shared all these exciting techniques, let's talk about something important, how to actually use the words you learn. Because learning them is just the first step.
Let's dive into that next. So now that you're learning all these cool new words, the big question is, how do you actually use them in real life?
That's the key, right? Learning words is great, but if you don't use them, they'll disappear from your memory. So let's talk about how to bring those words into your daily life.
One of the best ways is to make your own example sentences. Every time you learn a new word, try writing 1 or 2 sentences that connect to your life.
Right? If you learn the word delicious, don't just memorize it. Say, "My mom's chicken is delicious." That sentence means something to you and it's easier to remember.
Another tip is to use the words when you talk to yourself. Let's say you're making breakfast, you can say, "I'm cooking eggs. They smell delicious." This helps link the new word to something real.
And don't forget about chatting with friends or language partners. If you're texting or speaking with someone in English, challenge yourself. Can I use 1 or 2 new words I learned this week?
You can even tell your friend, "Hey, I'm trying to use this new word today." It becomes a game and your friend might help you remember it too.
Also, try using new words in social media posts. If you post photos on Instagram, write a short caption in English. Or share a daily sentence on Facebook or WhatsApp. That way, you're using English in real situations.
Here's a fun one. Try a word of the day challenge. Pick 1 new word and use it at least 3 times that day, in speech, writing, or just talking to yourself.
That's a smart way to make the word part of your memory. When you use it again and again, it becomes active vocabulary, not just something you recognize, but something you can use.
So remember, use new words in writing, speaking, texting, posting, or even thinking. The more ways you use them, the faster they become a natural part of your English.
Exactly. Don't wait for a perfect moment, just use them, even if you make mistakes. That's how real learning happens.
Now let's talk about a super important topic, how to review and remember all the vocabulary you've learned, so it stays in your brain.
Now, let's talk about something super important, making mistakes. A lot of learners feel shy or scared because they don't want to use a word the wrong way.
Yes, and we totally understand that. But here's the truth, mistakes are part of the learning process. In fact, they help you grow.
That's right. Every time you make a mistake, you're actually doing something great, you're trying. And that's how you learn faster.
Let's say you use a new word and someone corrects you. Don't feel bad. Just think, okay, now I know the right way. Next time, you'll remember it even better.
Exactly. Even native English speakers make mistakes. So don't let fear stop you from speaking or writing.
The important thing is to keep going. Use new words, try new sentences, speak up, and if you make a mistake, smile and learn from it.
So repeat after us. Mistakes are okay. Mistakes help me grow.
Beautifully said. And now let's move into our final section, a quick recap and some encouragement for everyone listening.
Let's wrap it up. All right, before we wrap up today's podcast, let's leave our listeners with a little challenge. Something simple but powerful to help them start using new vocabulary right now.
Yes, we call this our vocabulary challenge of the day. Are you ready?
Here it is. Step 1. Choose 3 new English words you learned today or recently. Step 2. Write one sentence with each word. Try to make it personal and about your life.
And if you want a bonus challenge. Step 3. Say those sentences out loud. Even better, record yourself and listen to how you sound. It's a great way to improve your confidence and speaking skills.
And if you're feeling brave, you can share one sentence in the comments of this podcast or your favorite social media platform. Just tag us or write number Easy English Talk Challenge.
We'd love to see how you're using your new vocabulary. Remember, every small step helps you get better.
All right, learners, are you ready to take the challenge?
We believe in you. Let's build that vocabulary one word at a time.
Up next, our final message of the day. Let's send our friends off with some good vibes and motivation.
Wow, what a great episode today. We covered so many helpful ideas about how to increase your vocabulary in fun, simple ways.
Let's quickly review what we talked about. Why vocabulary matters. Common mistakes to avoid daily habits. To build vocabulary, fun techniques like songs, flashcards, and games. How to use words in real life. How to remember them and why making mistakes is totally okay.
And don't forget our vocabulary challenge: 3 words, 3 sentences, and maybe even a short recording. You got this.
Before we go, here are a few final tips. Be patient. Vocabulary takes time. Stay consistent. Even 10 minutes a day can help. Make it fun. That's how you'll stick with it.
And always celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Every new word you learn is a step forward.
Thanks so much for listening to the English Learning Podcast. We're proud of you, and we're here to help you every step of the way.
Keep learning, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. We hope you feel ready to start improving your vocabulary right away.
Before you go, we have a little favor to ask. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode.
And if you're enjoying our content, why not share it with a friend who's also learning English? The more, the merrier.
Also, make sure to leave us a rating and review. It really helps others find our podcast, and we love hearing from you.
Remember, the challenge is waiting for you. Choose your 3 words and start using them today. We want to see your progress.
Thanks again for tuning in to the English Learning Podcast. We appreciate you listening, and we can't wait to help you on your journey to fluency.
So keep practicing, stay motivated, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone, and goodbye for now.
Happy learning! Hello, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm Julia. We're so happy to have you with us today. If you're learning English and want to improve your speaking skills, you're in the right place.
That's right. In today's episode, we're talking about something very important and useful: how to introduce yourself in English.
Introductions are usually the first step in any conversation. Whether you're meeting someone new at school, work, a party, or even online, knowing how to introduce yourself clearly and confidently makes a great first impression.
Exactly. And don't worry, if you're a beginner, we'll take it slow and easy. We'll explain the words and phrases step by step, and even give you examples.
Yes. And by the end of this episode, you'll be able to introduce yourself in a simple, clear, and confident way.
So get ready. You can even grab a notebook if you want to write things down. Let's begin the journey of mastering self-introductions. So, before we teach you how to introduce yourself, let's first talk about why self-introductions are so important.
Yes, great idea. Think about it every time you meet someone new. What's the first thing you usually do? You introduce yourself. It could be in a classroom, at a job interview, or even when you make a new friend.
Exactly. And in English-speaking countries, people often expect you to say something about yourself right away. It's a part of polite communication and helps others know who you are.
And it's not just about sharing your name. A good introduction helps you start a conversation, show confidence, and even build relationships.
That's true. Let's imagine a situation. You go to an international event, and someone says, "Hi, I'm Emma. Nice to meet you." If you know how to reply with a good introduction, the conversation becomes smooth. But if you don't know what to say, you might feel nervous or lost.
Yes, and it's the same when you're learning online or speaking to someone on a video call. First impressions matter, and your introduction is often the first impression.
So in this episode, we'll help you feel ready for any situation where you need to introduce yourself, from casual chats to formal moments like interviews.
By the end, you'll not only understand what to say, but also how to say it clearly, naturally, and with confidence. Let's get into the real steps now. We'll start with the basic structure of a simple self-introduction in English.
All right, now it's time to break down the basic structure of a good self-introduction in English. Don't worry, it's easier than you think.
Yes, introducing yourself doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to follow a simple order. Think of it like building blocks.
Let's go over the main parts. Here are 6 steps you can follow to introduce yourself clearly. 1. Start with a greeting. 2. Say your name. 3. Say where you're from. 4. Mention what you do your job or studies. 5. Talk about your hobbies or interests. 6. End with a friendly closing or a question.
Exactly. Let's try it with a short example. Jason, can you go first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jason. I'm from New York, in the United States. I work as an English teacher. In my free time, I like reading and hiking. It's nice to meet you.
That's a great example, clear, simple, and natural. Now let me try. Hello, my name is Julia. I'm from London in the UK. I'm a podcast host and also a language coach. I love music, traveling, and meeting new people. Nice to meet you.
Very nice, Julia. And as you can hear, both of our introductions follow the same structure. You don't need long or complicated words, just short sentences that clearly say who you are.
Right. And one important thing to remember, speak slowly and confidently. Even if you're nervous, take your time.
And smile when you introduce yourself. It helps you sound more friendly and confident.
Now that we've looked at the basic structure, let's go deeper into each part, starting with greetings.
Let's begin with the first part, the greeting. This is how you start your introduction. It can be formal or informal depending on the situation.
In an informal setting, like meeting a friend or classmate, you can say, "Hi, hello, hey."
In more formal situations like job interviews or speaking with someone older, you can use "Good morning," "Good afternoon," "Nice to meet you."
Yes, and don't forget to smile and make eye contact if you're in person. It shows confidence and friendliness.
Let's do a quick practice. I'll say an informal greeting and
Hello, nice to meet you.
great. Now let's move on to part 2, saying your name.
This part is simple but important. Saying your name clearly helps others remember you.
You can say, "My name is Jason. I'm Jason. You can call me Jason."
And when you want to ask someone else's name, you can say, "What's your name? May I know your name?"
Let's try a quick example.
Hi, I'm Julia. What's your name?
I'm Jason. Nice to meet you.
Nice and simple. Now let's talk about where you're from.
Talking about where you're from is a common part of introductions.
You can say, "I'm from India, I come from Brazil, I live in Kabul."
And if you want to give a little more detail, you can add your city or region. For example, I'm from a small town near Paris. I live in Tokyo, the capital of Japan.
Let's give an example.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm from New York in the United States.
I'm Julia from London in the UK. Nice to meet you.
All right, time for part 4, talking about what you do.
This is where you talk about your job, or if you're a student, your field of study.
You can say I'm a teacher. I work in healthcare. I'm a student at Ghazi Amanullah Khan Institute. I study nursing.
It's okay to keep it simple. You don't need to explain everything, just a clear statement is enough.
Let's do an example again.
Hi, I'm Julia. I work as an online English coach.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jason. I study computer science.
That's it. Now let's talk about something fun, your hobbies and interests.
This part helps others get to know you better. It also gives you something to talk about.
You can say, I like reading and watching movies. In my free time, I enjoy cooking. My hobbies are photography and music.
Here's a tip. Don't list too many. Just say 2 or 3 things you enjoy.
Here's an example. Hi, I'm Julia. I like traveling, learning languages, and taking photos.
I'm Jason. I enjoy playing football and reading science books.
Now let's finish the introduction with a good closing line.
After you say something about yourself, it's good to end with a friendly phrase or question.
You can say, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for listening to my introduction. What about you? Can you tell me about yourself?
This makes the conversation two-sided, not just about you.
Let's try a full example from start to finish.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm from the U.S. I'm a teacher, and I love sports and music. It's great to meet you. What about you?
Hello, I'm Julia from the UK. I'm a student and I enjoy painting and hiking. Nice to meet you too.
See? That's how you start a real conversation in English just with a good introduction. Now that we've gone over all the parts of a good self-introduction, let's show you how it sounds in a real conversation. Julia and I will do a quick role play, just like 2 people meeting for the first time.
Yes, and we'll speak slowly and clearly so you can understand and follow along. You can also repeat after us to practice.
Hi there. My name is Jason. What's your name?
Hi, Jason. I'm Julia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Julia. Where are you from?
I'm from London in the UK, and you?
I'm from New York, in the United States.
Oh, that's cool. What do you do?
I'm an English teacher. I also do podcasting. How about you?
I'm a university student. I study psychology. I also work part-time at a bookstore.
That's interesting. What do you like to do in your free time?
I love listening to music, hiking, and painting. What about you?
I enjoy playing guitar and watching documentaries. It helps me relax.
Nice. It's really great talking with you, Jason.
Same here, Julia. Thanks for the nice chat. And that's how a simple self-introduction can turn into a friendly conversation.
Exactly. Listeners, now it's your turn. Try practicing your own introduction using the same structure. You can even write it down first, then say it out loud.
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to introduce yourself in different situations, like classrooms, job interviews, or online meetings. All right, before we finish, let's give our listeners some helpful tips to practice introducing themselves at home.
Yes, the first tip is practice in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and say your introduction out loud. This helps build confidence and body language awareness.
Tip 2. Record yourself. Use your phone or computer to record your voice. Then listen to it. Do you sound clear? Are you speaking slowly and naturally?
Tip 3. Write your introduction down. Keep it short and simple. This helps you remember the main points like your name, where you're from, what you do, and your hobbies.
Tip 4. Practice with a friend or family member. Ask them to pretend they don't know you. Then give your introduction and ask them to introduce themselves too.
And finally, tip 5, watch or listen to English podcasts or videos where people introduce themselves. Try to copy their style and pronunciation.
The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. And remember, mistakes are okay. Just keep going. All right, everyone, let's quickly recap what we learned today.
Yes. First, we talked about why self-introductions are important. They help you make connections and leave a good impression.
Then we broke down the basic structure. Your name, where you're from, what you do, your interests, and something extra or unique.
We went deeper into each part, shared examples, and even did a short role play to show how it works in real conversation.
And we gave you tips on how to practice at home, like using a mirror, recording yourself, or practicing with a friend.
Remember, practice makes progress. Don't be afraid to try. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
We believe in you. Start small, speak slowly, and just be yourself. Thanks for joining us today on the English Learning Podcast. We hope this episode helped you feel more confident about introducing yourself in English.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who are also learning English. Your support helps us keep creating helpful content just for you.
And if you want to practice more, check out the other episodes in this playlist. We have conversations, tips, and real-life English examples for all levels.
You can also leave a comment and introduce yourself below. We'd love to hear from you and connect with our listeners.
Keep practicing, keep growing, and remember, every time you speak, you're improving.
Thanks again for listening. Until next time.
Bye and take care. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. It's great to have you here with us today.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. We hope you're doing well, staying curious, and ready to grow not just in English, but in life too.
That's right. And today's topic is something many of us feel but don't always say out loud.
Oh yes, today we're talking about why I am ambitious but lazy. It sounds funny at first, but it's actually a serious topic.
Absolutely. So many people, maybe even you, our listener, have big dreams. You want to do something great. But somehow you don't take action. You feel stuck, tired, or just not in the mood.
Exactly. You want to be successful. You imagine a better life. But when it's time to work, you feel lazy or distracted.
And that can feel very confusing. You might even ask yourself, why do I feel like this? What's wrong with me?
Don't worry, nothing is wrong with you. In this episode, we'll talk honestly about why this happens, how it affects us, and what we can do about it.
And don't forget, we'll keep the conversation slow, simple, and clear. So if you're learning English, this is a great way to improve your listening and thinking skills too.
Exactly. So sit back, relax, and let's explore this very real topic together.
Let's get started.
So, Julia, let's start with the big question. What does it mean when someone says, I'm ambitious but lazy?
Good question, Jason. Let's break it down. First, the word ambitious means you have big goals or strong desires to succeed.
Right. For example, if you want to become a doctor, start a business, or speak English fluently, that's ambition.
Exactly. You dream big and you want a better future.
Now, the word lazy usually means not wanting to work or do anything active. It's when we avoid doing the hard things, even if they're important.
So, when someone says, I'm ambitious but lazy, they mean, I want to achieve great things but I don't take action. I feel stuck or unmotivated.
It's like having a fast car with no fuel. The car looks powerful like your ambition, but it can't move forward without energy or effort.
Wow, I love that example. A fast car with no fuel. So true. Many of us have dreams, but no daily action.
And it's more common than we think. So many people feel this way, students, workers, even successful people.
Yes, and sometimes people don't know why they feel lazy. They just say, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes.
I've done that too. I say, I'll do it after lunch. Then I say, I'm too tired now, maybe in the evening. And then the day is gone.
Same here. So really, being ambitious but lazy means we care, we want to grow, but something is stopping us.
And that's what we're going to talk about in the next part, the reasons behind this feeling. Why we stop ourselves even when we want success.
Yes, because once we understand the problem, we can start to find solutions.
All right, Julia, now that we've explained what it means to be ambitious but lazy, I think it's time to get personal.
Yes, let's share our own stories. I'm sure many of our listeners will relate.
Okay, I'll go first. When I was younger, I always said, I want to write a book. I had so many ideas in my head. I could imagine the cover, the title, everything.
That's exciting. So, did you write the book?
Not really. I started it, maybe 5 times. Each time I wrote for 1 or 2 days. Then I got distracted. Or I told myself, it's not good enough.
I know that feeling. You want it to be perfect, so you wait and wait.
Exactly. And while I waited, time passed. I was dreaming big, but doing nothing. I felt lazy, but deep inside, I still wanted it.
That sounds very familiar. For me, it was learning Spanish. I always said, I want to speak Spanish fluently. I even bought a course.
Nice. Did you use the course?
At first, yes. I studied for 1 week, but then I missed one day, then another, and suddenly the course was just sitting on my shelf, unused.
Wow. That's exactly what happens to many people. You start strong, then lose the habit.
And then you feel guilty. You say, why am I like this? I want to learn. Why am I not doing it?
Yes, that guilt makes it worse. Instead of starting again, we feel bad, and we avoid it more.
That's why I think it's important to talk about this. We are not alone. Everyone has goals and struggles.
Absolutely. It's not about being lazy on purpose. Sometimes we just don't have the right support, energy, or plan.
And sometimes we expect too much from ourselves. We think, I must be perfect, but we forget progress is more important than perfection.
That's so true. Even small steps matter.
So, to everyone listening, if you've ever felt like us, don't worry. You are not a failure. You're just human.
Exactly. We're in this together. And now, let's talk about the deeper reasons behind this ambitious but lazy feeling.
Yes, let's find out what's really going on inside our minds.
So, Julia, now that we've shared our stories, let's talk about the reasons. Why do so many of us feel ambitious, but still act lazy?
Yes, let's break it down. There are many reasons, and some are deeper than we think. The first one is fear of failure.
That's a big one. Sometimes we don't start because we're afraid we won't succeed. We think, what if I try and fail?
Exactly. That fear stops us from even starting. It's easier to do nothing than to feel disappointed.
And sometimes we say, I'll start later. But really, we're just afraid. Afraid of not being good enough.
That leads us to the second reason. Perfectionism. We want everything to be perfect, so we wait for the right time, which never comes.
Oh, yes. I used to wait until I had the perfect idea or the perfect mood. But life is never perfect. So I did nothing.
Perfectionism makes us feel lazy, but really we're just scared of being imperfect.
The third reason is something we all deal with. Distractions. Phones, social media, TV, so many things take our time.
Yes, you sit down to work, then you check your phone, and boom, 1 hour is gone.
It's not just about time, it's about focus. We're always busy, but not always productive.
Another big reason is lack of clear goals. When your goal is too big or not specific, you feel lost.
That's true. Saying, I want to be rich or I want to be successful is not clear. But saying, I want to save $100 a month, that's a goal.
Without small, clear goals, we don't know where to start, so we do nothing.
There's also low energy. If you don't sleep well, eat well, or take care of your body, you'll feel lazy even if your mind wants to work.
That's an important point. Our brain needs energy to stay motivated. It's not just about mindset, it's also physical.
So to sum up, here are some common reasons we feel ambitious but lazy. Fear of failure, perfectionism, distractions, no clear goals, low energy.
And remember, these are normal. We're all human. The key is to understand the reason, then we can start to change.
Yes, because once we understand why we feel stuck, we can learn how to move forward step by step.
And that's what we'll talk about next, how emotions play a big role in all of this.
All right, Julia, we've talked about the common reasons why people feel ambitious but lazy. But there's another important part we can't ignore: our emotions.
Yes, Jason. Emotions are often the hidden reason we stop ourselves. Sometimes we think we're lazy, but it's really about how we feel inside.
Exactly. Let's start with one of the biggest emotions, self-doubt. Have you ever felt like, I'm not good enough? Or maybe I can't do this?
Oh, many times. When I doubt myself, I lose all motivation. Even if I want something badly, that little voice inside says, "What's the point?"
That voice is powerful, and it can make you freeze. You don't take action because you don't believe in yourself.
Yes, and that leads to the next emotion, guilt. When we don't do what we planned, we feel guilty. We say, "Why didn't I do it? What's wrong with me?"
And guilt can feel heavy. It makes you feel worse, not better. Instead of getting up and trying again, you feel stuck in shame.
Another strong emotion is fear of judgment. Sometimes we don't act because we're afraid of what people will say. What if they laugh at me? What if I fail in front of everyone?
That's so true. Social pressure is real. You might want to post a video, start a new job, or speak English, but you're scared others will judge you.
And let's not forget about overwhelm. When you have too much to do or your goal feels too big, you feel lost.
Yes. You think, where do I even start? So instead of doing one small thing, you do nothing.
All of these emotions, self-doubt, guilt, fear, and overwhelm, they create a wall inside us.
And from the outside, it looks like we're lazy. But on the inside, we're just tired, scared, or confused.
So if you're listening right now and feeling this way, please be kind to yourself. You're not lazy. You're carrying emotions that need care.
Yes, you're not broken. You're just human. And understanding your emotions is the first step to change.
Sometimes just naming the feeling helps. Try saying, "I feel scared" or "I feel overwhelmed" instead of just, "I'm lazy."
That's a great tip. When we understand our feelings, we can take better actions. We can start small and move forward with love, not pressure.
And remember, you don't have to fix everything in one day. Emotions take time to heal. Progress is slow, but it's real.
Beautifully said, Julia. I think now it's the perfect time to talk about how to turn things around. How to go from lazy to action step by step.
Yes, let's move into that. It's time for hope and simple solutions.
Julia, before we move on to solutions, I think we should talk about something important: the pressure from society. The way the world expects us to always be productive.
Yes, that's a big one, Jason. These days, it feels like if you're not doing something all the time, people think you're wasting your life.
Exactly. We see it everywhere on social media, in school, at work. Everyone is talking about hustle, grind, success, achievement.
And when we see others always doing more, we start comparing. We think, why am I not like that? What's wrong with me?
That comparison can be very toxic. We forget that what we see online is just a highlight reel, not the full picture.
Yes, people post their wins but not their struggles. You don't see the lazy days, the anxiety, the moments of doubt.
But still, we feel behind. And when we feel behind, we panic. That panic can either push us to overwork or make us freeze and do nothing.
And that leads to the pressure of always being on. There's this idea that if you're not busy, you're lazy. But rest is not laziness, it's necessary.
Absolutely. But society doesn't always respect rest. It rewards people who are always working, even if they're burning out inside.
Sometimes we try to keep up just to fit in. We force ourselves to look busy, even if we're exhausted or unmotivated.
And for people who are ambitious but feel lazy, this pressure makes it worse. They already feel guilty, and now they also feel ashamed.
Let's not forget how culture plays a role too. In some cultures, success means working long hours or getting top grades no matter what.
Yes, in many families, children are told, study hard, get a good job, make money. No one talks about mental health, passion, or personal pace.
So when someone needs rest or wants to slow down, they feel like a failure just because they're not moving as fast as others.
That's why it's important to challenge this idea. Productivity doesn't define your worth. You are not a machine.
Yes, you are a human being with emotions, needs, and your own timing. It's okay to move slow. It's okay to rest. It's okay to be different.
And we all have different paths. Just because someone is doing something at 25 doesn't mean you have to do it at the same time.
Your journey is yours. The world may be loud, but you don't have to follow its pace.
So to anyone listening, if you feel lazy because you're not doing enough, take a deep breath. Society's pressure is heavy, but you don't have to carry it all.
And now that we've unpacked that pressure, let's talk about something helpful, how we can break the cycle of being stuck and actually take action.
Yes, let's share some real, simple steps to move forward, even if you still feel lazy. All right, Julia, we've talked about society, emotions, and personal struggles. Now comes the big question, how can we balance ambition and action?
Yes, because ambition is good. Dreaming big is important, but without action, those dreams just stay in our heads.
Exactly. I think the first step is to start small. People try to jump too far, too fast. That's when it feels overwhelming.
Right. Instead of saying, I want to write a book, say I will write one paragraph today. That small step is still progress.
And small steps build momentum. When you do one small thing, you feel good, and that pushes you to do more.
The second tip is to set clear, realistic goals. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Ask, what does success mean for me this week?
That helps you stay focused. Like, instead of, I want to get fit, say, I'll walk for 15 minutes a day.
Yes, the goal should feel possible, not scary. That way, your ambition becomes something you can actually do.
Another key is time management. Many people feel lazy just because they don't plan their day.
Try using a planner or a to-do list, even a simple one like wake up at 7, study English for 20 minutes, read for fun.
And don't forget to include breaks. Working non-stop can burn you out. Rest is part of productivity.
Also, celebrate your wins, even small ones. If you complete a goal, smile and say, I did it.
That's powerful. It builds confidence. And confidence creates more action.
Here's another idea. Surround yourself with people who support you. Talk to friends who encourage your goals, not people who make you feel bad.
Yes, your environment matters. Positive people bring positive energy.
And if you fall off track, don't quit. Just start again tomorrow. Progress is not perfect.
That's true. Falling behind doesn't mean failure. It just means you're human.
So to balance ambition and action, remember, start small, set clear goals, manage your time, take breaks, celebrate small wins, stay around positive people, be kind to yourself.
That's a great list. Simple, but powerful. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent.
Yes, and when you take small actions every day, your ambition becomes real. That's how change begins.
All right, coming up, let's talk about some practical tools and habits that can help people stay on track daily.
Yes, time to get practical and make things even easier.
Julia, we've talked about balancing ambition and action. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter, tips to overcome laziness.
Yes, Jason, laziness isn't about being bad or weak. It's something we can work on with some simple habits.
One tip I always share is to break tasks into tiny steps. If a task feels huge, it's easy to feel stuck. But if you focus on just the first tiny step, like opening a book or writing one sentence, it feels less scary.
That's so true. And sometimes just starting is the hardest part. After the first step, you often keep going naturally.
Another helpful tip is to set deadlines for yourself. Even if no one else is waiting, having a deadline makes you more responsible.
Yes. Like telling yourself, I will finish this today, or I will practice English for 10 minutes now.
Also, remove distractions. Turn off your phone notifications, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, make it easier to focus.
That's a great one. We often waste time without even realizing it because of distractions.
And don't forget about rewarding yourself. After completing a task, give yourself a small treat like a short break, a snack, or some time to relax.
Rewards keep us motivated. Our brain likes positive feedback.
Another important tip is to use the 5-minute rule. If you don't feel like doing something, just promise yourself to do it for 5 minutes.
Exactly. Once you start, you might feel better and want to continue. But even if you stop after 5 minutes, that's still progress.
And finally, stay positive and patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. Celebrate small wins and don't be too hard if you slip.
Yes, Jason. Laziness is a habit, and habits can be changed with time and effort.
So to summarize, some tips to overcome laziness are: break tasks into tiny steps, set deadlines, remove distractions, reward yourself, use the 5-minute rule, stay positive and patient.
Simple habits can lead to big changes. If you try these little tips every day, laziness will start to fade.
Absolutely. And remember, being ambitious means you want change. Overcoming laziness is just part of that journey.
Great advice, Jason. Up next, let's talk about how to keep the motivation going in the long run.
Well, Julia, we've covered a lot today, from understanding why someone can be ambitious but lazy, to tips on how to overcome that laziness.
Yes, Jason. It's important for everyone listening to remember, ambition and laziness can coexist, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond to it.
Exactly. Being ambitious means you have dreams and goals. Feeling lazy sometimes is natural. The key is not to let laziness stop you completely.
Right. Take small steps, be patient with yourself, and celebrate progress no matter how small.
And remember, it's a journey. There will be good days and tough days, but every step forward counts.
You are not alone in this. Many people feel the same way. So keep going, keep trying, and believe in yourself.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope this episode helps you find balance and motivation.
Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with friends who might need it.
See you next time on the English Learning Podcast.